Alright guys, so this is our winterization skid. Typically you use a winterization skid after you do an extraction process. If you ever extract if you extract any of your flour materials with any kind of warm solvents, you typically pull out a little bit of undesirables or fats, lipids, other things related to plant that you obviously are not going to want in your oil at the end of your process. So essentially what we've done is we've built a smaller system to essentially winterize, which is just a general term for help with kind of a filtration process of removing some of those fats, lipids, waxes, other things you pull out of the plant that are your undesirables. The way we set this system up was we have 3 60-gallon tanks. You would basically feed over your solvent, you feed over your extracted crude material. You mix it with a solvent. You cool it down. All 3 tanks have cooling jackets on them. They're 60 gallons a piece, like I said a minute ago, and they also have mixers on each of them. But you cool them down to sub-zero levels, and then essentially try to coagulate or flocculate all your fats, lipids, and waxes. And then essentially we would just filter them out through our bag filters we've got on the front of a skid. So this is one of our base skids. We have the flexibility and opportunity to add other filtration. I know, some people in the industry have really been kind of looking into, and we've been working with some lenticular filtration as well. But generally speaking, it is a simple process of adding a solvent to your crude mixture, cooling it down until you get all your fats and undesirables to basically turn into solids, and then just filtering them out through this process. These bag filters can work really interchangeably with any of the actual tanks. We can also set them up to where they can run in series rather than just parallel. And we essentially have paired this skid so that it's fully built in with a 5 horsepower pump also to kind of push everything through. So for certain skids and other options, we also have a nitrogen tank, so you can keep nitrogen on top of your 3 winterization skids to kind of help with that safety aspect of the process.
Alright, this is our winterization skid. This is used for post-processing of extraction. This is for using to winterize your oil after it's come out of maybe an ambient process extraction, CO2 extraction, something on the level where you're going to end up with high lipids, maybe high chlorophylls that you want to remove before you take it further to evaporation and get your final crude oil. What we have here is a control system that actually runs the entire skid. So it's PLC driven, so there's a lot of user functions built into the system that make this very automated and simple to use. And then what we have is our vessels in the back. These tanks are actually where the solvent and oil is at. Inside that tank is an agitator, so we can mix carbons, diatomaceous earth, any type of filter additive that we want to add in order to clean up the oil. So if we want to get rid of chlorophylls, we need to add something in there to pull that out. And we can do that and mix that really well in this tank. That tank is also jacketed, and that's how we sub-zero chill it. So we'll hook a chiller to it. It's temperature controlled, so you can set it exactly what you want and it'll maintain it. From our tank system, we use a pump to pump that fluid through our filters to remove that filter media. We have several filters in line in the system in order to process. If you have a lot of waxes, you can use multiple filters, or if you just want to use this filter and then that one gets full, you can move to the next one without having to stop your process. Inside those filter housings, we use just a standard bag filter. They come in a lot of different sizes. We also have cartridge filters, metal screen filters that are reusable, so you don't have to reuse this filter. You can just get a replacement. Pretty simple, easy, and cheap.